Hi guys and girls, what I'm going to show you to do today is, as you can see, I've got some old, very old molds here of what I've done, what I've sculpted over in the past. I've trimmed them all down and you can just see they've had a bit of a bad life. So what we're going to do is melt down some clay. I'm just got it on a pot here melting down. So once that's all melted, I can then pour everything down and recast them. So all being well, this should work pretty well. And then you can save your old molds or anything like that you've got in the future. So now that our clay has melted, it's a little bit nice and viscousy, but be extremely careful because this is piping boiling hot. So let's get that sorted. All you got to do is gently pour where you want the remake of your mold to be. So moving on. And because Monster Clay will literally pick up all and every bit of detail going, leave it to one side. You just want to try and thin out the edges as much as you can to save us some more work later. But it doesn't really matter if you have thick edges because because it's clay, we can just sculpt and shave away anything that we don't need. It's too thick, or even if it's too thin in parts, we can add clay to it. As you can see, it's fell into the flange. Just be careful when you're touching it because it will be extremely hot, but it does cool down relatively fast at the same time. You notice I'm not going in the middle because that's where it will be still piping hot. You can almost smooth down your edges now. Don't worry about it being stuck to you because it doesn't stain or stick to you too much. So this is going to be really thick, so you can stick that bit already. So all we got to do is wait for it to cool down a little bit. Get all this excess. Throw that back into the mixing pot. Yeah, it's still very. I'm so impatient when it comes to stuff like this. I want to carry on touching and playing. But yeah, you just keep moving it around. Make sure it's getting all that detail, no air bubbles or anything like that is in it. We've got a little rolling pin here, so for when it has this one to cool down, I can just roll out some of the texture just to make sure that all that clay has gone in to all the previous sculpt that I've done, and it's as flat as possible. So when this dries, this little middle bit dries, then I can do a full roll over of all the clay. So you can see it's still a bit too soft here. I mean, it wouldn't damage anything, but we don't want to take that risk either. Some of the clay might come up onto the rolling pin or whatever you're using, the rolling pin or a anything round, basically. But yeah, and then when this is set, I'll show you how to demold and potentially cast a new mold for your new prosthetic. So now that these are pretty much dry, they're still a bit soft. You can get your, what's it called, a rolling pin, and then just make sure that every bit of it is as flat as possible. Oh, there's my phone going off there. Phone. Come on. So as you can see, it's starting to pop off. So oh, it's gone straight away. So there's the mould of what it was, and then here's the clay piece of what it is. Then most of the details in there, but then this bit, so the skin bit is, or whatever, you can turn this into anything you want now. So this was originally a gunshot wound, which we used for See No Evil. I remember putting this on this prosthetic from this mold onto my eye and used it as like a burn mark on my eye, so you can pretty much use it for anything. So add your details in and get that all leveled out and sorted. It's pretty much flat enough as it is. Obviously it needs neatening off and get that sorted. So popping that to the side. And this one, because it's obviously silicone, and nothing really sticks to silicone, all of it's silicone, you can kind of peel the silicone out of the clay. Just be extremely gentle. No. So again, that's the it's a bit of clay left in. So that's the mod, and you can see how flimsy it is, because this was obviously it's falling apart. And this is the reason why I'm remolding my prosthetics again, remolding my molds, or remaking my molds, whatever the fucking damn idea is. But yeah, because I've had this for like, I think when I started doing prosthetics about 10 years ago. So obviously just the wear and tear and everything like that is all coming apart, and this wasn't the best mold that I made anyway, because I was still practicing at the time. So we need to get some better molds. But you can see now you can see the detail of everything. Still needs to have a little bit of detail to it and clean up the edges, etc. But the majority of it is done. So doing a piece like this from scratch probably would have done me about 5-6 hours worth of work. Whereas now I've remolded it from an old decrepitated, broken mold, and all I've got to do now is probably about another hour's worth of work of just adding the detail, cleaning it up, refining some of the edges at the bottom, adding some skin texture. So probably about an hour and a half of detailed refining work, and getting it all sorted. So that's pretty much how you create or save prosthetic molds. It's pretty much how you save molds and reinvent clay molds and clay prosthetics. So if you enjoyed this quick, easy way of making clay prosthetics, or the beginnings of clay prosthetics, press the subscribe button, give me a like, remember to press that share button, and join me next week for seeing how we turn the refined piece of art into an actual prosthetic. I'm going to clean this up and add some more details to it, which I will cover in a couple of more different videos, some that are coming up soon, and how to add like textures and whatnot to it. But yeah, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, press that subscribe button, press the share button, and remember, don't be cute, be gorgeous, and I'll see you next week.